Okay, so I'm back to working on the Yamaha SR250. It's a 1980. I just started popping off my tabs here to mount my new fuel tank. So just took a chisel and snapped them off. I'm just going to bend down this coil bracket for now. And then maybe I'll add an extension and fit the coil right in here. Darren Sharon on YouTube's here.
How's it going?
Dry Shaft Drew, can't forget that. And Beer's here.
First time here, it's my place.
Yeah, I know, hey. And check out what I just picked up. Brand new fuel tank. So I got to get some tank sealer. Yeah, I got to get some tank sealer, seal it up. For now, I just got just standard, just plug in here, standard plumbing components. Yep. I'm probably not going to use this 90. I'll probably just have it straight out of here. I got this tank for about $100 cheaper than any other one I could find because it has the two outlets right on the back, which I knew when I was buying this that I was going to run into some clearance issues here with these guys, but I'm pretty sure I could get it where it'll fit just nicely out at this side. The other option is if I use the straight and then have the hose just running down to the carb. Now, these tanks are meant to have kind of, let's just say, a fuel pump design. I'm not going to be running the fuel pump design, and I'm going to hope I have no issues. If for some reason I have issues with the carb, I'll be just switching the carb over to a standard carb, so I don't like the ones with the vacuum diaphragm on them. So yes, I'm going to cut this off, trim this, take a little hammer and a chisel and maybe dent this down just a little bit. After, I'm going to be welding back here just to kind of reinforce it. And I'm thinking I might even weld in this plate here. What are you saying now?
I think they're going down good tonight.
Oh, just freaking ignored me or interrupted me. And still looking at a set of tires. The front one's an 18-inch. Back one is a 16-inch. So it's going to be a little bit tricky to find some tires. So I might be switching that rim out to a different size. So we got a little bit of clearance, as you can see on the front there. I'm going to be switching the exhaust. Going to be gutting that out. And I guess I'll make an update kind of as I go along. And not too sure yet what I'm going to do for the seat. Okay, so here's where I got it up to. Got it fitting on the front here. So I do got to notch out the frame just a little bit here, but I'm not going to physically notch it out by grinding it. I just laid it down on an anvil to do some. And I just got to dent it in a little bit up on top of here. So just to kind of clear it so it could sit down just a tiny bit more. And the way it is, I could still use the 90 on here, but have it going towards the inside there. And once that's done, I'll have to make something to kind of reinforce it here between here. So I'm thinking just flat steel with a hole drilled in it for the fuel line to go through, and another hole to bolt it down. I got some rubber underneath it right now, just to kind of hold it in place. I could leave it at this height, but I prefer to get it down just a tiny bit more in the back. So you kind of see underneath it there. It's not that bad, but again, it's not going to be perfect. It's just kind of a temporary gas tank that will probably end up being permanent. I'm just going to be using this style rubber. I will be trimming off the edges here and just using thin layers just to kind of give it a little bit of a vibration resistance, I guess. So yeah, not too sure yet. I'm going to pull out the air hammer and probably, I don't even know if I'll use the torch, and I'll see if I can kind of squeeze those two bars in a little bit right there. So normally I don't like touching the frame, especially on the point right there, but I'll reinforce it after, you know, look just as good as new. And you can see now, and maybe you can't see from that angle, see from this angle, if I can get in there, you go. Gas tank is nowhere near touching the frame, and nowhere near touching the frame on this side. See, again, I got my rubber underneath it. So what I gotta do now is, now that I know this tank's gonna physically fit, I gotta decide, do I want my fuel valve on this side or this side? I shouldn't call it a fuel valve. I'm just using like a tap, 1/4 to 1/4 adapter. I'm going to have an inline somewhere down below going to the carb. It's kind of sliding out of there. I'm just going to be running gravity feed. I'm going to hope it's going to be high enough. I can't see it not. Worst case, I could see it start running into issues right at the bottom. I got to take this tank, I got to seal it, internally with gas tank sealer, because new tanks you always do that. Basically, it's a two-piece of epoxy that you kind of mix around, and then you kind of swirl it around for 15-20 minutes. It'll make sure to seal up everything. Even though it almost looks like there is none, that's probably just flux coming out there. So I never actually looked inside the tank yet to see. So no, I don't see no sealer in there. So no, most companies don't seal tanks when they sell them. So that's just a temporary fuel cap, of course, until I get a proper one. So, and as for the seat, I got to kind of look at some different ideas. I see the bracket here is kind of bent down, but that's going to be chopped off. I'm going to be chopping off pretty much this entire rear section here, and I'll be just putting a curved bar back. This whole bracket here, I might actually keep this one. I don't know if it'll get in my way, but the bracket, but I'll have to take off this old tank mount. Cut off all of these brackets all the way down here. Even this exhaust bracket I'll be cutting off. Got to keep my brake light switch. And as for the inner fender, I'm just going to actually use a pure metal inner fender. Before I buy the fender, before I modify the front fender, I got to see what size tires I can find. This is a 17-inch, I believe. Or no, a 16-inch. It's a 120/90/16. So 120/90/16. So looks like I got enough clearance in there on both sides to go up to a little bit of a wider tire and a little bit higher if I need. So that's good. I do plan to put, again, something like 90% rolled, 10% or 90% off-road, 10% rolled tires on it, or maybe something along that line. And as for the same thing on the front here, this is an oddball too. It's an 18. So 3x18. So that one they're trying to find an 18-inch front tire. I have found a few, but nothing quite aggressive as I wanted to. And I am going to paint the rims. I'm still kind of thinking of going flat black on the entire frame, military kind of green on the tank. Handlebars I am going to be switching out. I do need new cables because some of them are kind of just starting to split. So, and as for the battery, it's going to be switched over to a lithium battery pack that's going to be mounted up here in the frame, so it'll be under the seat, so I don't have the huge ass battery. Just going to run a little filter off the crankcase vent, a fair size cone style filter off the intake, or off the carb, I mean. As for the exhaust, it's going to be I'm going to probably be cutting it right here where it's nice and flat, and then I'll be welding up, not too sure yet, but something a little bit more smaller. This one here has the big expansion style chamber underneath here, which has a hole rotted in it somewhere. I actually haven't looked yet where the hole is, so maybe you guys can see it on the video, but yeah, that exhaust is going for sure. As for the top end noise, I've been doing a little bit of research, and some people are saying that it's actually normal for these things to have a bit of noise. So yeah, well, once I get it running, get the oil flowing, I'll see how bad it is. I already pulled off the rocker covers, the timing chain cover, everything looks in spec and tight in there. So this rear fender, of course, I'm not going to be using. I'll be going to something different once I trim all this off. I was even thinking like a trailer fender to modify. So again, it's just going to be kind of a rat style bike. I'll be taking off this cluster here. I'll be going to tack and a speedometer, two separate ones. The headlights here, this headlight I'll be switching it out for something a little bit different, probably LED. The single lights here, I will be taking these off and mounting something up here a little bit smaller. And it's going to be a while before the project's done. I do plan to bring it in for a safety inspection, but before I do a lot of modifications and stuff, you know, I think I better get it safety before I start altering too much of it. So yeah, I guess for now, I'm going to start welding up this here to fit a bracket on the back here, and I'll show you guys once it's done. Okay, so it's Sunday now. Nothing really got done on the bike. I've been looking at a few different seat ideas to order. But Adam, Impact, Atomic Redneck's going to be over probably in about 2 hours now. It's freaking burning hot outside for once, and very bright. So, just did a little bit of cleaning back here. Got the dirty oil stain plywood there to get rid of. Those ones I hope are empty, dumped back there. They're not dumped, they're physically lying back there. They better be empty ones. So they would have been up on top of those tires and fell off during the winter. So Banshee buried underneath there. Sled, tractors, and yeah, this trailer, I'm going to be hauling it out in a few days, storing it somewhere different. So because we're bringing in, I'm going to guess probably about 40 yards, or maybe not 40, maybe 30 yards of 3/4 down gravel to level off the back here. Put some new styrofoam there to raise that up 1.5 feet. So, and fix the corner of the house there, if you can see that. That's from moving the shed when my dad had the jack slip. And of course fix the parking spot that I'm sinking into, if that even shows up in there. But, well, if anything else exciting happens today, I am going to be videotaping it. I do got to go out and do some flashlight videos. So, oh, my dad just garbage picked this on his way home from work. Engine seized up on it, but the actual frame it's on is way better than what's on my shitty pressure washer. So I'll use that frame. At least has some decent sized tires. Yeah, I just got this guy sent in the mail the other day. So Lumen Tops TD16. So I actually been using it for the last few days. Brought it to a couple bushfire parties and stuff like that, and seemed to actually do pretty good. So, and this is the through night. What was this? The TC10. So I was just comparing the two of them. Virtually the same idea. And of course I got that carb still sitting here from the motorbike apart, just ready to go back together. Well, Adam bitched out. He's not going to be riding a motorbike this year because he doesn't want to work on it. So instead I'm letting him ride this thing.
This is my motorbike now.
Yeah, I'm lending him my pedal bike.
That's a motorbike. The motors are right here. They're reliable as shit too.
You know what we need to do? Next week or a week later, I got to go buy a piece of shit car that you could blow up.
Let's just put a motor on this thing.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty fun.
No, I think we're going to go buy a piece of shit car with a V8 that's fast as fuck. What do you think? Should I buy you a car?
Yeah.
Or I should buy the car and you should blow it up for me, and then we'll make videos repairing it.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, all I got done on this thing was got the tank on it. I looked at some seats to order. Again, that tank has to be sealed and yada, yada, yada. But anyway, he's out of here. He has to be up at work for 6, and it's pretty late.
Okay.
You're out of here?
Morning.
Yeah.
Adios.
See ya. Oh, finally got rid of that frickin' guy. Gone. Well, I'm packing it up for tonight. So this was actually just a kind of a quick thing. I did a little bit of work on the bike there, as you can see, with the new tank. And now I'm packing it up for tonight, and I'm out of here too. So sweet. What you doing up there, Adam?
Oh.
Is it rolled roofing in the center?
From here is tin.
Yeah.
From here is shingles.
And how's that look over there?
It looks good.
But it's rounded, right?
Yeah, it's rounded.
See if this, how soft does it feel?
Oh, it's sturdy.
Is it?
Oh yeah, she's sturdy. The shingles aren't even in bad shape.
But it's rolled roofing still, right?
Yeah.
Flat stuff?
Yeah, it's just flat like tar paper, shingle paper.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's shingles, but it's the roll-on shingles.
Rolled roofing, yeah.
Yeah, no, it looks good up here. The
Yeah?
tin's all in really good shape.
Yeah, that's just that. When they did the add-on, they put new tin.
That's a vent. The only reason I can see these bags being here, this is a chimney.
Yeah, so
There's a wood stove in here.
or it could be a wood. Yeah, I think there was a wood stove in this one. I gotta double check the pictures of the inside. Shaw Direct.
Oh, but look at that view.
I know.
Man, you sit up
Take
here
some
and
pictures
watch
from
the
up top,
sun, man.
buddy. Take a picture from up top or so.